I'm talking to the woman who has cried in silence, showed up anyway, and kept giving even when her own soul was tired. The woman who smiles for others while fighting her own battles. The woman who's been told you're too much or you're not enough, sometimes in the same sentence. Today, I want to remind you, you are not asking for too much. You are finally refusing to settle for too little. Dear woman, this season is yours. You deserve peace, love, success, healing, every good thing that's on its way to you. You've already earned it through your struggles. You might not see it every day, but everything you've been through has been shaping you, preparing you, refining you. Every heartbreak, every disappointment, every sleepless night. They didn't come to destroy you. They came to awaken you. Think about it. You've faced storms that others would have run from. And you didn't just survive them, you grew stronger because of them. Every scar you carry, every tear you've wiped away is proof that you are still standing. Proof that you have been chosen to endure, not to break. There were days you showed up with a broken heart and still gave love. Days you were exhausted, but you still pushed forward. Days when the world didn't see your pain, but you still smiled anyway. That strength most people will never understand. You've carried responsibilities that would have crushed others. You've been the backbone for everyone else, family, friends, even strangers, while sometimes feeling like you had no one to hold you. Yet here you are, still fighting, still rising, still trying. You may not give yourself enough credit, but look at how far you've come. You've survived moments you didn't think you would. You've picked yourself up after being knocked down time and time again. And even when you doubted your worth, even when your mind whispered that you weren't enough, your heart refused to give up. That's power. That's resilience. That's evidence that you've already earned every blessing that's on its way to you. You see, the universe doesn't reward perfection, it rewards persistence. It rewards faith. It rewards the woman who refuses to quit, even when her knees are shaking, the woman who keeps showing up for herself even when nobody claps for her. The woman who says, I don't know how, but I'll find a way. That's you. And for that, you deserve every ounce of goodness coming your way, not as a gift, but as something you've earned through your trials. Every time life tried to break you, you learned something. You learned patience when everything felt delayed. You learned forgiveness when you had every reason to stay angry. You learned to love yourself when no one else knew how to. You learned to rebuild from nothing. Those lessons, those quiet victories, are your crown. They're what make you unstoppable. And maybe you've spent years feeling unseen, unheard, undervalued. Maybe people have taken your kindness for weakness, your loyalty for granted. But hear this. The same people who overlooked you will one day have to watch you bloom in places they never imagined you'd reach. Your breakthrough isn't coming because of them, it's coming despite them. Because your story isn't about who hurt you, it's about who you became after the hurt. So stop questioning if you deserve good things. You do. You've already paid the price through your pain, your perseverance, your growth. You've already earned peace through the chaos you survived. You've already earned joy through the nights you cried yourself to sleep, but got up the next morning anyway. You've already earned success through every moment you kept believing when everything told you not to. You are not behind. You are not late. You are right on time for your blessings to start unfolding. The seeds you planted in pain are about to bloom in abundance. Everything you prayed for when nobody was listening, it's on its way. Not because luck suddenly found you, but because you've refused to give up on yourself. You've already earned the right to rest, to receive, to smile without guilt, to walk into rooms knowing you belong there. You've already earned the right to live a soft life, a peaceful life, a life that feels like joy instead of survival. You don't have to fight anymore to prove your worth. You already proved it. So when good things start happening, and they will, don't question them. Don't shrink. Don't sabotage them out of fear. Look at those blessings and say, yes, I deserve this, because, dear woman, you do. You've already earned it. Every good thing that's coming your way. Self-worth isn't selfish. Somewhere along the way, many women were taught that putting themselves first was wrong, that to be good, to be kind, to be loved, they had to give until there was nothing left. You've been conditioned to believe that sacrifice equals strength, that your value lies in how much you can endure, how much you can give, how little you can need. But let me tell you something real and raw. Self-worth is not about arrogance. It's about awareness. It's about remembering who you are before the world told you who to be. It's about standing tall in your truth and saying, I am enough. Just as I am, you are allowed to want more. You are allowed to say no. You are allowed to take up space in a world that constantly tries to shrink you. You are allowed to rest, to recharge, to choose yourself without guilt. Because when you pour from an empty cup, no one gets your best, not your family, not your friends, not your dreams, and certainly not you. You've spent too long trying to be everything for everyone, leaving nothing for yourself. That's not love. That's self-neglect disguised as generosity. You see, loving yourself isn't a luxury, it's survival. It's a declaration that says, I matter. It's refusing to chase people who make you feel unworthy. It's setting boundaries and keeping them even when others don't understand. It's choosing peace over proving and choosing growth over guilt. You are not selfish for wanting more peace in your life. You are not selfish for walking away from things that drain you. You are simply learning to value yourself, and that's one of the most powerful transformations a woman can experience. For too long, society has celebrated women who give everything away, their time, their energy, their dreams, as though their worth is tied to their ability to self-destruct gracefully. But not anymore. The new definition of strength is balance. The new definition of success is peace. The new definition of worth is authenticity. You do not need to break yourself to prove your love. You do not need to settle just to be accepted. When you start seeing yourself as worthy, your energy shifts, your standards rise, and your life follows. There is nothing selfish about wanting more joy, more rest, more love, or more abundance. You're not being greedy. You're finally remembering that you were never meant to leave small. You were meant to expand, to evolve, to rise. Every time you choose yourself, you send a message to the universe, I am ready for more, and the universe listens, opportunities appear, peace deepens, the right people start showing up. Why? Because you finally started showing up for yourself. Self-worth also means not settling for half love. It means no longer chasing people to see your value. You don't need to convince anyone of your worth. Your existence is proof enough. The moment you stop begging for validation is the moment you start attracting people who see your light without you having to dim it. You deserve relationships that pour into you, not ones that drain you. You deserve to be seen, heard, and valued for who you truly are, not for how useful you can be to someone else. And listen, self-worth is not loud. It doesn't need to shout. It's quiet confidence. It's the way you walk into a room knowing you belong there. It's the way you no longer explain yourself to people committed to misunderstanding you. It's the way you stop chasing and start attracting. It's the peace that comes when you realize that not everyone deserves access to you. Because your time, your energy, your love are sacred. You are not being selfish for putting yourself first. You are being wise. You are being brave. You are rewriting the rules that told you to disappear to make others comfortable. Because when you honor your worth, you inspire others to do the same. You show your daughters, your sisters, your friends that self-love isn't vanity, it's power. You show the world that boundaries are not walls, they're gates that protect your peace. So stop apologizing for wanting more peace, more love, more success, more respect. You are not asking for too much. You're finally refusing to settle for too little. You are not selfish. You are self-aware. You are not ungrateful. You are growing. The woman you are becoming no longer asks permission to exist fully. She simply does. And as you continue to honor your worth, life will begin to mirror that back to you in ways you never imagined. Because here's the truth: when you love yourself deeply, you raise the vibration of everything around you. You attract better, you feel lighter, you see clearer. You stop begging for crumbs and start demanding the feast that's meant for you. And that's not selfish. That's what you've always deserved. Let go of the strong woman mask. You've worn it for so long that it's almost become a part of your identity. You know the mask I'm talking about. The one that smiles when everything inside you is breaking. The one that says, I'm fine, even when your voice trembles. The one that carries everyone else's burdens while silently drowning in your own. The world has praised you for being strong, for holding it all together, for never showing weakness. But deep down, you know that strength has come at a cost: your peace, your rest, your softness. And it's time to let it go. You were never meant to carry the weight of the world on your shoulders. You were meant to live, to breathe, to feel. Somewhere along the line, being strong became a survival mechanism. Life forced you into it. Maybe you had to grow up too fast. Maybe you had to protect yourself from pain. Maybe no one ever showed up for you the way you showed up for others, so you built walls. You learned to hold it all together because falling apart didn't feel like an option. But that strength, though admirable, has turned into armor, an armor that heavy can suffocate the soul. True strength isn't about pretending to be okay all the time. It's about being honest enough to say, I'm tired. It's about allowing yourself to cry when you need to. It's about admitting that you don't always have the answers. It's about asking for help without shame. That's real power, vulnerability. The kind of strength that doesn't need to prove itself through silence or suffering. You don't have to hide behind a mask anymore. You can take it off. You can be both powerful and gentle, both resilient and tender. You can be a masterpiece and a work in progress at the same time. The truth is, the strong woman narrative has been glorified to the point of exhaustion. Society celebrates the woman who holds everyone together, who never breaks, who keeps giving no matter how empty she becomes, but who celebrates the woman who finally says, I can't keep doing this. Who honors the woman who chooses to rest instead of run, who applauds the woman who finally sets the burden down and chooses herself. You deserve to be that woman, the one who doesn't need to be strong all the time. You deserve to breathe. You don't have to prove your worth through endurance. You don't have to pretend that pain doesn't hurt you. You don't have to smile through every storm just to make others comfortable. Sometimes the bravest thing you can do is admit that you're not okay and give yourself permission to heal. Because healing doesn't happen in performance. It happens in honesty. It happens when you let the tears fall instead of holding them back. It happens when you stop trying to be everything for everyone and start being enough for yourself. You are allowed to be human. You are allowed to have bad days. You are allowed to fall apart, to not have it all figured out, to pause without guilt. Your softness doesn't make you weak. It makes you real. And realness is where the power lies. The strongest women aren't the ones who never break. They're the ones who find the courage to rebuild themselves every time they do. When you take off that mask, you give others permission to do the same. You show the next woman that it's okay to be vulnerable, that there's beauty in imperfection, that true strength is rooted in authenticity. You remind her that tears are not a sign of weakness, but a sign of release, proof that your heart still feels, still hopes, still believes. Letting go of the strong woman mask doesn't mean you stop being strong. It means you redefine what strength really is. It means you learn that strength can look like rest, like saying no, like choosing peace instead of chaos. It can look like walking away from things that hurt you. It can look like silence instead of explanation. It can look like surrender instead of control. So take off the mask, dear woman. You've earned the right to be free from it. You've done enough, given enough, proved enough. You don't owe anyone the performance of strength anymore. You can breathe, you can feel, you can be. The world will not fall apart if you stop holding it up for a moment, but you might finally start to heal. And that right there is the most powerful kind of strength you will ever know. You are the prize, not the backup plan. Somewhere along the line, many women began to believe that love, respect, and recognition were things they had to earn by proving themselves worthy enough. Maybe you were taught to chase acceptance, to shrink your voice, to compromise your worth just to be chosen. But let this truth sink in deep. You are not someone's second option, you are not a placeholder, and you are not here to convince anyone of your value. You are the prize, you are the one who brings light into every space you enter, the one who gives meaning and magic to the lives of others. And when you finally realize that, your whole world begins to change. You see, when you forget your value, you start accepting less than you deserve. You start settling for half love, half effort, half attention. You start believing that being chosen at all is enough, even if it means losing yourself in the process. But you were never meant to beg for love or chase validation. You were meant to walk with confidence, knowing that anyone who gets the privilege of your energy, your loyalty, your heart, is receiving something rare and extraordinary. When you know your worth, you stop asking for a seat at the table because you finally understand you are the table. There is power in recognizing your own value. It changes the way you walk, the way you speak, the way you love. It teaches you to stop trying to earn people's affection and start allowing them to meet you where you are. It teaches you to stop chasing those who don't see your light and start standing still, knowing that those who are meant for you will find you without you having to shrink, bend, or beg. Because when you know who you are, you no longer settle for situations that make you forget it. You are not hard to love. You've just been giving your love to people who don't know how to receive it. You are not too much. You've simply been in spaces too small for your spirit. You are not unworthy. You've just been surrounded by people who couldn't see beyond their own limitations. And that's not your fault. You don't have to dim your light so that others feel comfortable. You don't have to lower your standards to be accepted. When you know your value, you raise the vibration of everything around you. The right people will rise to meet it. Being the prize doesn't mean arrogance. It means understanding your sacredness. It means recognizing that you bring something irreplaceable to the table: your kindness, your empathy, your strength, your love, your presence. It's about holding your head high, not because you're better than anyone else, but because you finally refuse to be treated as less than you are. It's not pride, it's peace. It's knowing that your love is not something to be won through competition or compromise. It's something to be earned through respect, effort, and intention. Stop chasing those who make you question your value. Stop trying to convince people to stay. If they can't see what you bring to the table, let them eat somewhere else. The moment you stop chasing, the right ones start appearing. The people who truly see you will never make you feel like you have to prove your worth. They will never make you feel like you have to earn their love through suffering. They will recognize your value from the start, and they will treat you like the gift you are. You've spent too much time giving your energy to those who only took, too much time settling for almost love, too much time trying to be enough for people who never intended to meet you halfway. It's time to stop proving. It's time to start choosing yourself. Because once you do, everything shifts. You attract relationships that are rooted in mutual respect, opportunities that align with your purpose, and peace that doesn't require performance. Being the prize means walking away from anything that doesn't align with your worth. It means not chasing closure, not begging for explanations, not lowering your standards just to keep someone close. It means understanding that rejection is often redirection, that anything or anyone that walks away was never meant to stay in the first place. When you carry yourself like the prize, you start living like it. You move differently. You speak differently. You love differently. So remind yourself of this truth every day. You are not the backup plan, the afterthought, or the convenience. You are the main character in your story, the centerpiece of your own life, the woman who brings warmth, beauty, and strength wherever she goes. Never forget your power. Never doubt your worth. You are not waiting to be chosen. You are the choice. And when you finally stand in that truth, the world will have no choice but to treat you accordingly. Healing is the new hustle. For too long, society has glorified exhaustion, praising the woman who never stops, who sacrifices sleep, peace, and happiness in the name of success. You were told that hustling meant grinding until you burn out, that rest was laziness, that productivity was proof of worth. But what if real power isn't in how much you can push, but in how deeply you can heal? What if the greatest flex isn't the money in your account or the title on your name, but the peace that lives in your heart? Healing, dear woman, is the new definition of success. It's the quiet, powerful revolution that begins the moment you decide that chaos will no longer be your normal. Healing is not weakness. It's courage in its purest form. It takes strength to stop running from your pain and finally face it. It takes bravery to look at the wounds you've ignored and say, it's time to deal with this. It's not about pretending you're fine. It's about being honest enough to admit that you're not and choosing to do the work anyway. You see, healing doesn't happen overnight. It's not a linear path. Some days you'll feel like you're making progress, and the next day you might feel like you're right back where you started. But even on those days, you're growing, because healing isn't about perfection. It's about presence, being present with yourself, with your emotions, with your truth. In a world that tells you to keep moving, healing asks you to pause. It invites you to slow down and listen to your body, to your mind, to your spirit. It's about noticing what triggers you, what drains you, what brings you peace, and what sets your soul on fire. It's about releasing old versions of yourself that were built on survival and stepping into a version of you that thrives. That's not weakness. That's transformation. That's growth. Healing means forgiving yourself for the times you accepted less than you deserved. It means making peace with your past without letting it define your future. It means understanding that you can't rewrite what happened, but you can rewrite what it means to you. It means choosing not to let pain become your identity. You are not your trauma. You are not your heartbreak. You are not your mistakes. You are the woman who rose from them. You are the one who decided that the cycle ends with you, that the story will change in your hands. When you heal, everything around you begins to shift. The relationships you attract become healthier. The opportunities you draw in become aligned with your purpose. The love you give yourself radiates outward, touching every part of your life. Healing changes your energy, and energy is magnetic. When you're healed, you no longer chase, you attract. You stop begging for peace because you become peace. You stop seeking validation because you validate yourself. You stop fearing endings because you know they make room for new beginnings. But here's the thing, healing isn't glamorous. It's messy, it's uncomfortable. It's crying at 2 a.m. because something old resurfaced. It's setting boundaries that make people uncomfortable. It's walking away from places that feel familiar but no longer serve you. It's learning to be okay in solitude. It's learning that rest is productive. That saying no is self-respect, that slowing down is not falling behind. Healing asks you to dismantle everything that wasn't built on love, and that takes time. So, if you're in your healing era, don't rush it. Don't compare your journey to anyone else's. Some wounds take longer to close, and that's okay. The goal isn't to become your old self again, it's to evolve into someone wiser, softer, and stronger. The woman who walks out of the fire is never the same as the one who walked in. She's more grounded, more aware, more intentional. She's no longer driven by fear, but by purpose. Healing is the new hustle because peace is the new power. It's no longer about how fast you can climb, but how aligned you are while climbing. It's about building a life that feels good on the inside, not just one that looks good on the outside. It's about choosing joy over judgment, rest over resentment, balance over burnout. You owe it to yourself to stop surviving and start living. You owe it to yourself to find calm in a world that profits from your chaos. Because the truth is, a healed woman doesn't chase validation, she embodies it. And when you reach that place of wholeness, that's when you'll realize healing was never the pause in your journey, it was the greatest step forward. Stop shrinking to fit spaces you've outgrown. How many times have you silenced your own voice just to keep the peace? How many times have you made yourself smaller, dimmed your light, or held back your truth just so others wouldn't feel uncomfortable? Somewhere along the way, you were taught that humility meant hiding your greatness, that kindness meant tolerating mistreatment, that love meant losing yourself for the sake of someone else's comfort. But you were never created to be small. You were meant to expand, to evolve, to take up space unapologetically. When you shrink, you suffocate your potential. When you play small, you dishonor your purpose. There's a reason you feel restless in certain rooms. It's because you've outgrown them. The conversations don't stimulate you anymore. The energy feels heavy. The people around you no longer reflect the woman you are becoming. And yet, you stay out of loyalty, out of fear, out of habit. You keep pretending that it's fine, even when your soul is whispering that it's not. But here's the truth, when you outgrow a version of your life, the discomfort isn't punishment, it's guidance. It's the universe's way of saying you've learned what you needed to hear. It's time to move forward. Growth is supposed to feel uncomfortable. It's supposed to stretch you. The things that once felt right may start to feel tight because your spirit is expanding. You're not being difficult. You're not being ungrateful. You're simply evolving, and evolution requires letting go of people, of habits, of versions of yourself that no longer align with your higher calling. It's not easy because leaving familiar places means facing the unknown. But staying small is far more painful than stepping into your power. You owe it to yourself to stop apologizing for your light. Stop apologizing for your success, for your confidence, for your voice. Stop downplaying your achievements to make others feel comfortable. Stop pretending to be less intelligent, less capable, or less ambitious just so someone else can feel secure. You are not responsible for anyone else's insecurity. You are responsible for your own becoming. The world needs you at full power, not watered down, not half present, not muted. And understand this, not everyone will celebrate your growth. Some people only liked you when you needed them. Some relationships were built on your smallness, on your silence, your compliance, your dimmed light. When you begin to rise, those people might resist it. They might call you different, distant, or arrogant. But you're not arrogant. You're awakened. You're simply choosing not to stay where your soul no longer thrives. The truth is, not everyone can go with you where you're headed, and that's okay. Let them go with grace, not guilt. You don't owe anyone an explanation for your growth. You don't have to justify your dreams, your peace, or your evolution. You don't have to make excuses for why you want more out of life. If your growth makes others uncomfortable, let it. You've spent too many years keeping yourself small just to be accepted by people who were never meant to understand you. You've spent too much energy fitting into spaces that couldn't hold the fullness of who you are. It's time to stop contorting yourself to fit into boxes you've already outgrown. Growth requires space, emotional space, mental space, spiritual space. You cannot rise while you're still rooted in places that don't nourish you. You cannot soar while carrying the weight of everyone else's expectations. You cannot evolve while constantly minimizing yourself to match the version of you that others are comfortable with. It's time to step out of the smallness and into your fullness. It's time to walk boldly into the rooms that match your new energy. So take a deep breath and allow yourself to expand. Speak your truth even if your voice shakes. Dream bigger even if it scares you. Shine brighter even if others squint. The world needs women who are unafraid to take up space, who are not ashamed of their power, who stand tall in their truth. Because every time you choose authenticity over approval, you give another woman permission to do the same. You are not difficult, you are growing. You are not selfish, you are protecting your peace. You are not changing for the worse, you are becoming who you were always meant to be. So stop shrinking to fit. Stop editing your greatness. Stop trying to fit into spaces that can no longer hold your light. You are not meant to blend in. You are meant to stand out, to rise, to evolve, to expand. And the moment you stop shrinking, you'll realize that you were never too much. You were simply surrounded by people who thought too small. Your time is not coming, it's here. For too long, you've been waiting for the perfect moment, the perfect sign, the perfect opportunity to start living the life you dream of. You've been telling yourself, one day I'll do it. One day I'll feel ready. One day things will align. But that one day has already arrived. The universe is not waiting for you to become someone else. It's waiting for you to recognize who you already are. You keep thinking you're preparing for your moment, but in truth, you're already standing in it. This is your season. This is your time. You've been through too much to doubt that. Every challenge you faced was not a delay, it was preparation. Every setback, every heartbreak, every failure was shaping you for this exact moment. Nothing was wasted. The pain you endured taught you resilience. The waiting taught you patience. The disappointments taught you clarity. All of it was building the woman who is ready to rise right now. You are not behind. You are not late. You are not forgotten. You are right where you need to be. The things you prayed for, cried for, and worked for are beginning to align, not in the distance, but here in this very moment. You've been conditioned to believe that good things are always in the future, that your happiness, your success, your peace are things you have to chase. But the truth is, your blessings don't live in tomorrow, they live in your willingness to claim them today. The moment you stop waiting and start acting, the universe responds. When you decide that you are ready, life moves to meet you. Because readiness isn't about circumstances, it's about mindset. It's not about waiting for the stars to align, it's about realizing you are the star that brings light to your own path. You have spent enough time preparing, healing, learning, growing, and yes, those things were necessary. But now it's time to step forward. It's time to stop hiding behind fear and start trusting yourself. You've done the work. You've faced the pain. You've learned the lessons. What more are you waiting for? The doors you've been knocking on are about to open, but you have to walk through them. You have to stop doubting whether you deserve it. You do. Everything you've endured has led you here. You are equipped. You are capable. You are ready. Sometimes we wait because we fear failure. We tell ourselves, maybe I'll try when I'm stronger, when I'm more confident, when things calm down. But life doesn't wait for the perfect timing. It rewards courage. The leap of faith always comes before the certainty. You'll never feel completely ready, and that's okay. You just have to take the first step anyway. Because once you do, you'll see that the path has been waiting for you all along. Every opportunity, every breakthrough, every connection is already in motion, aligning itself with your energy. All you have to do is say yes. Yes to yourself, yes to your dreams, yes to this moment. Your time is here, not when you lose the weight, not when you make more money, not when everyone believes in you, not when life feels easy. Right now, in the middle of the uncertainty, in the middle of the chaos, in the middle of your becoming. You don't have to have it all figured out to begin. You just have to trust that every small step you take is pulling you closer to your destiny. Stop disqualifying yourself from blessings that already have your name on them. You've done enough waiting, enough wishing, enough doubting. It's time to receive. When you start walking in the belief that your time is now, your energy changes. You stop begging and start manifesting. You stop chasing and start attracting. You start showing up as the woman who knows her worth, who knows her purpose, who knows her power. That energy shifts everything around you. People notice it. Opportunities notice it. The universe notices it. Because when you declare that your time is now, everything starts to move in alignment with that declaration. So stop telling yourself that it's not your turn yet. Stop believing that everyone else gets their breakthrough before you. Your journey is unfolding exactly as it should. You are not behind, you are becoming. You are not waiting, you are walking into everything that belongs to you. The blessings are not in the distance. They are already finding their way to your doorstep. The light you've been searching for is not out there somewhere. It's been shining inside you the whole time. This is your moment. The chapter you've been waiting for has already begun. Don't look for signs. Be the sign. Don't wait for permission. Give it to yourself. Don't wonder if it's your time. Claim it. The world needs what only you can give. The door is open. The path is clear. The time is not coming. It's here. So, dear woman, take this moment and breathe it in, because this is the beginning of your becoming. You've walked through storms that were meant to destroy you. Yet here you are, still rising, still glowing, still believing. You've unlearned what the world told you about your worth, peeled back the layers of pain, and found the courage to stand tall in your truth. You've learned that healing isn't weakness, that boundaries aren't selfish, and that loving yourself is not arrogance, it's power. This journey has never been about becoming someone new. It's been about remembering who you've always been, beneath the pain, beneath the expectations, beneath the masks. The strong, soft, radiant, unstoppable woman who was always there, she's finally free. And now, as you walk forward, remember that you no longer have to beg for love, chase validation, or shrink to fit into anyone's idea of enough. You are enough. You have always been enough. From this moment on, you walk differently. You speak differently. You carry yourself with the quiet confidence of a woman who knows she deserves every good thing coming her way. You no longer wait for your time. You step boldly into it. You no longer ask for permission. You give it to yourself. You no longer question your worth. You embody it. The world will try to make you forget this truth, but don't you dare. Stand firm in your light. Move with grace, lead with love, and every time doubt creeps in, whisper to yourself, I am the prize, I am the peace, I am the power. Because, dear woman, you've already earned your place in the sun. You've already proven your strength. You've already done the work. Now it's time to receive. Walk into your blessings without fear, without apology, without hesitation. You deserve them, all of them. Your time is now. Your season is here. And the best chapters of your story are only just beginning.